prevail, that's someone that I was interested in locking arms with. And so we got into the restaurant delivery space, and he helped us expand that company in the southeastern United States. And it ended up being an E500 company, but our goal was never, well, my goal was never to go head-to-head with DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of those guys. At that time, Uber was maybe a $60 billion market cap. And so I had no desire to go head-to-head with a $60 billion company. Paul did want to go head-to-head with $60 billion. And it's funny because he's like, I was just like, listen, let's just do what they're doing in smaller towns, and we'll sell out to them. And that was the plan. And that's actually what we did. You know, we ended up in 300 cities. We're an E500 company back in 2020. And we sold a third of the business to a company called Eat Street, and then a company called Delivery.com. And we talked to Uber, we talked to DoorDash, we talked to all of them, but Delivery.com made us an offer that was just nuts. It was they gave us millions of dollars and let us keep the company. They took no equity. They just wanted us on their software. So I was like, so you're going to give us millions of dollars, and we keep making millions of dollars. I was like, that's a great deal. So, but I remember, Paul, we were doing, at that time, like $30 million a year. And the profits, we were making maybe $8 to $9 million a year. And he's like, you know, the average order, I think we were charging maybe $12 or something, $14 to our restaurants. Like, they're paying us. And he's like, we need to take it to 2. And I was like, oh, that sounds brilliant, man. Like, so we go from making $8, $9 million to like $1 to $2 million. I was like, yeah, dude, sign me up. You know, so I just kept making fun of him. But he kept telling me, he's like, we can go after these guys. And I never truly believed it. And then when I started to dig in with Wright and Tomas and the blockchain community, I said, man, you know what? Like, we can go after these guys, like head on. And I've never been a disruptor, but I've always been somebody. Not that you have to be to have success. I've just said, let's kind of do what they're doing, maybe in areas they're not, and we can make some money. Or let's do something that maybe we can do that some other people are doing. That's different than what Netflix did to Blockbuster. They disrupted the entire industry. That's different than what Amazon did to retail. They disrupted the entire industry. And when you have the opportunity to connect with people like Wright, who is truly a disruptor, right? Like, he is looking to disrupt the globe. Like, literally the way people live their lives, he's looking to make it easier and better for everybody on planet Earth. And Paul is another disruptor. Many times of just things you don't want him disrupting. I'm just kidding. I already paid ahead. But he's somebody that looks to disrupt industries. And I remember he started this company, Revo, and he's like, let's get it going. He just went out and started. He's a ready, fire, young entrepreneur. I like that, actually. And he just started rocking. And I said, dude, this belongs on the blockchain. This project belongs on the blockchain because with the efficiencies that the blockchain offers, we can actually beat the big boys. Like, not only beat them, but like drug them. Like, by the time we're on their radar, it's too late. And he started to get that vision as well. And that's what got me so excited, was when you can bring projects that are real revenue-generating projects. I think if you look at the crypto world over the last 10 years, you know, especially 2017, 18, that last bull run, there was all these ICOs that were all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Oh, we've got these ideas, and it's guys in their basement, and they never plan on leaving their basement. They're just selling their idea, and they never planned on bringing it to fruition. And what I love about a project like this is we're already doing rides. Like, if you're in Miami, if you're in Palm Beach, if you're in Jupiter, if you're in New Orleans, right now, you can take a ride. The driver will come pick you up and take you where you need to go. And soon, you're going to start getting rewarded in cryptocurrency tokens for taking that ride. And I want him to share his vision, because when you can go into an industry and find success, that's great. When you can go into an industry and disrupt it as a whole, it creates opportunity for not only people like us in this room, but people all over the planet Earth. So this is somebody who is near and dear to my heart and has been a mentor to me for many, many years, and obviously he's the CEO of Revo-Rideshare, Mr. Paul Michael.
and I'm like, you're selling Jesus. And so I was a disruptor since the minute I was born. And Tony says that, and listen, I do like to go head to head with people. I like to fight, you know, but I like to fight when I can win and do good for other people. You know, like I love what Faith is doing because of that exact thing. And one of the things my mentor taught me a long, long time ago, and I want to kind of use this as an example, is he taught me that if you ask the right question, you'll get the right answer. And if you ask enough questions, you'll get where you want to go. So I wanted to do kind of a simple thing. It's not a card trick. Everybody's, what's a trick? No, it's not. And when you get done with it, you'll understand. But it's like in a deck of cards, right? It's like there's all these rules, correct? Like every time I open another deck of cards, there's more rules. Isn't that like life? They got more rules, more rules, more rules, more rules. And so I want to do this thing, and I'm going to show you how it works real quickly. And I wanted to use somebody in the room as an example and help me. And I asked Casey, and it was funny because we were sitting in this room yesterday, and I heard everybody talk about how hard this is and how you got. And it's amazing all these new steps that is making it easy. And I texted Casey, and I go, I don't know what these people are talking about. I have no problem with any of this stuff with my nose and stuff. And she goes, yeah, that's because I do it all for you. All right, well, sorry. What I want to do real quickly so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you pick a card. I'm going to take the card and look at it and ask you a couple questions, all right? You don't look at it. Please follow first. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to take this card and I'm going to ask you a couple questions. In a deck of 52 cards, there's 52 cards, right? Yeah. And there's two colors. There's black and red. If you had to pick black and red, which would you pick? Red. All right, so that leaves us with the black ones, correct? So out of the black cards, what are the two suits? Spades. So if you had to pick spades or clubs, which would you pick? Spades. So that leaves us with the club. All right, so out of the clubs, let's say you got number cards and face cards. If you had to pick number or face cards or clubs, which would you pick? Face cards. All right, so let's take the face cards. So out of those face cards, clubs, right? That's where we're at. Face cards, clubs. Let's say you have two groups: Jack and Queen and King and Ace. You had to pick Jack and Queen or King and Ace. Which would you pick? Jack and Queen. Okay, so that leaves us with Ace and King, right? So if you had to pick Ace or King of clubs, which would you pick? King. So that leaves us with what? Ace. No. The older I get, the worse I'm going to go, God, please don't forget the card. I've done this and I forgot the card and I've gone back and picked it up. But it's like I learned a long time ago, if you start asking questions of things and you do it the right way, you can get wherever you want in life. And so about a year ago, we had hired a CEO, we got some people involved, and so I had a little bit of time on my hands, and that's not good for someone like me. And so I started figuring out how to create an app. And we've done the delivery business, like Tony said, and I was like, man, let's go after it. You know, I get in car. How many of you have ever ridden in an Uber? Yeah. Have you ever asked the driver if they like it? Yeah. They do not. They'll tell you all day long they hate it. When we came out to, when did we go? Sundance, right? Yeah. I got up at 5 in the morning to take a ride to the airport in Utah. I had to call the night before. I had to go on the app on the night before. And I tried to use Lyft because it was cheaper. So that driver had to get up at 5 in the morning, right? First of all, let me show you this. This is what I usually start. I'm always asked why you call out. That's how I that was in front of 500 people in Orlando, so if I could bounce back anybody. I started talking about drivers. And that driver that I got had to take that ride the night before, get up at 5 in the morning to get me to the airport. It was $263 was what I got charged before the tip. And that driver, she showed me her app, she got $95 off of it. That's horrible. Yeah. And then I talked to more drivers and more drivers and more drivers. And I talked to clients. I mean, how many think the clients that do rides think they're getting taken advantage of? Mm-hmm. And the riders did. When Tony and I and Kitty and Michelle, we do any kind of business, we always want to bring value to people. I look at some of these tech companies, and I think that they set out to screw people first and then figure out the tech later on. Yeah. And so, when he introduced me to Ride and all the people that are involved in this, I'm like, this is a ridiculously amazing synergy that goes together. And so we hadn't even launched. We put the app together, and we had over 15,000 drivers sign up just because they're frustrated, just because they hate what's going on. And I started asking them, these are some of the things they told me over and over and over that they didn't like. So there's a couple, and I'm going to try to go this as quick as possible. There's one thing I say all the time, and some of you are going to go, I want to know exactly this, exactly that, exactly this. You don't need to know all those details. I learned that a long time ago. And I really want to say something real quick. I believe I was brought into this company to take some heat off of Billy, because I've seen all y'all do mine. But, so with our deal, I tell people, listen, our clients will always pay less, our drivers will always make more, and anytime I refer someone to do one of those things, I'm going to get paid. And I'm going to get rewarded for it. So, we do this, and I'm going to run through this very quickly, but our drivers will keep everything but $1 of the mileage fee. And there's a reason for that. And they're going to pay less. So I know some of these numbers are going to go, I don't understand how it works. I've had people that come up to me in mathematicians, they go, this is not going to work. And I'm like, okay, Becky, it does work. The numbers completely work. Because we don't have a corporation that has to get paid all these Uber has 33,000 employees that they can average $77,000 in the corporate office. And then they try to take money from the drivers, and we're trying to give it all back. So the customer will choose $5 a ride. If they pay that plus the mileage fee. And remember, the client will always pay less, driver will always make more, and we get referred, and we do referrals. So if they choose $30 a month, they don't pay that $5 a month anymore, or $5 a ride anymore. They're saving the money, right? Or they can choose $250 for the year. They're still going to pay the mileage fee every time. I had some people go, oh, can you do rides for free? And I'm like, we can't. You still got to pay the mileage fee. But they pay $250 a year, they save $110. Now, 60 cents of every dollar that comes in revenue goes back out into the field in the form of referral bonuses. And I'm not talking about rewards, I'm talking about real cash. So the driver earns all the mileage except for $1 that goes to the referral fee. You will receive residual earnings for every client. How many have ever been in network marketing here? Isn't the big thing they sell is, oh, you're going to get residual income for the rest of your life. Until somebody steals your people, somebody comes out with a better shampoo, they're going to go somewhere else, right? And it's all based on a product. This is something people use over and over and over. So there's an example here. That's how I want you. So every time somebody pays us $5, in our back office you have a link. You can have a QR code. I'm not going to show you all how it works today. But you can have a QR code. Somebody downloads that. They're tied to you for life. So if I get Lori, and she signs up today, and she goes back to Dallas, and she does Revo there, I'm going to get paid $1 every time she does a ride. So I get 20% of that $5. If I make 20%, she decides to do $30 a month, I make 20% of $6. If she decides to do $250 a year, I make 20% annually. Does that not feel like real residual income? And you're not calling up your mom going, please order another case of shampoo. Like, it's just, people use it, right? And there's two types of people. My mother will never get in a Revo rush. She won't even get the car I'm driving. She's 78 years old, right? She's probably not going to use this product. But there's people that use it. We have a lady that's in West Palm Beach right now. She has us pick her up every morning and drop us off every evening. And I'm telling you, some of the things that we're going to do, I haven't even talked a lot about, but every one of our drivers at some point will have a tablet. And guess what? Galvin will be on that tablet as a thing that person can do. Captive audience in the back of that car. And that driver will be registered with Galvin, with Grow, with all these different things. And if one of those customers signs up for Galvin, they're going to get rewards for that. Yeah. How many think any driver on earth is going to want to work with us? Yeah. Every time a driver does a ride, they're going to get on top of their pay, they're going to get rewards. Every time a client does it, they're going to get rewards. Every time they get a 5-star rating, they're going to. I was taught you want to celebrate what you got to celebrate what you want to duplicate. So if we want to do better, we give them more rewards. Yeah. Tony and I sat down one day and came up with about 30 different things. Client, you can be a driver, you can be a client, or you can be a referral partner. Just real quickly, remember that dollar I told you about? So that dollar that I told you about, we take 20 cents. So there's $1 on every ride that we take out. If I recruit a driver, the average driver does about 15 to 20 rides a day. So what we do is we take 20 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if you had a driver who said he only did 10 rides a day, that's $2 a day times 30 days. How many people realize that's $60 a month off of that driver? That adds up very quickly. What if you had 200 drivers? I have people in our company already that have signed up 400 drivers. When we open in those cities and they start doing it, right now, if a driver doesn't drive, guess what they don't get? They don't get paid. Like right now, with Uber, Lyft, these other companies, if you don't drive, you don't get paid.
Right.
My goal with this was to make it so that this driver, what if they had a few other drivers that they brought into the company?
Yeah.
They could maybe take a day off.
Right.
You know? So let's say you had 1,000 clients in a month. And listen, these are theoretical examples. You have to always put disclaimers in. I wish Daniel was here so he could tell me what I did wrong. But that was the best answer I've ever seen from him. 1,000 clients in a month at $1 per client, that's an extra $1,000 a month. That's residual income. You don't have to call them up in the morning and say you're going to go to work and use Revo today. 1,000 clients in a month is $6. If they chose the monthly deal, that's $6,000. 3,000 clients in a year that did the 50, that's 150,000. Now, it may never happen, but I wouldn't bet against it. Because I promise you, this thing is going to get bigger and better, and it's already, we're doing rides every single day. So Revo is the first and only rideshare program utilizing blockchain technology and action-based reward system. Every time a ride is completed, our action-based reward system issues rewards in the form of tokens to Revo clients, drivers, and referral partners. Now,
I think we're talking about Revo-Lution.
One of the things that I think is very, very important, and we talked about it earlier, is attention. And one of the reasons I'm so excited that he's with us, and if you know influencers, we can show them how to make really, really good money on a monthly basis on how to do this. But when I first sat down with him, when we started talking, I said, you've got something that most people don't. And I think we need to do that in a lot of the other brands. So don't steal him from me like Tony does every other person. I get a good developer, Tony's like, oh, he's going to work on this, he's going to work on that. I'm like, I called my developer up the other day and go, don't forget the one that brought you to the dance. But that's the thing that we do. You share, you take care of people. Like if it works for everyone, great. Like my developer I know is helping with Darren and rallying some of those things, and that makes me happier than anything because he's good at what he does. Why wouldn't I want to share that person to help all of us? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Paul and I put together a real quick video. I'm going to end with this. Tony's going to come up and introduce one of our other friends real quickly. But we had a blast doing this quick video, and I'm telling you, Paul's one of the most amazing people I've ever seen. In an hour and a half, we did this video from start to finish. He filmed it, he edited it, and this is with the blooper reel. So enjoy it. Hold on. How do you get this?
And the sweet rewards that drivers can score. Today we're talking about Revo Rideshare and the sweet rewards that drivers can score. You probably heard of Rideshare apps before. Revo is next level. Revo drivers can not only make their own schedule, but they make more than they would with the other guys. So drivers, I can proudly say that I'm a part of Revo. Revo stands for Revo-Lution, and we're bringing just that to the ride-sharing industry. Our drivers can build a client base that stays with them as long as they use our service. But it gets even better. Revo hooks up their drivers with amazing rewards. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Right for you, Trevor?
DJ Quick. They got me here. They got me to this island in a line. They have boats too. Discounts on gas and exclusive perks. The more you drive with Revo, the more rewards you unlock. It's like a game, but instead of leveling up, you're stacking up those rewards. So if you're looking to make some extra cash on your own terms, and of course, earn some rewards along the way, the Revo Rideshare is where it's at. Our clients pay less, our drivers make more, and every single time a ride happens, someone gets a reward. And then what are you waiting for? Revo is the future of ride sharing. Go download the app, scan this QR code right here on the screen, and or click the link in the description down below. Drivers make more, US riders earn rewards. It doesn't get much better than Revo. Download the app down below. I'll see you on the right. How are you? Learn something to drink?
Or can you cut it?
I'll let you have that.
Sorry, man.
No, you ruined the sound. No, I'll add sound effects. Oh, it's fizzing, it's fizzing. Oh my god, I feel hyper.
You know.
Is that AI?
Yes. I said randomly called tomorrow.
They know who I am.
I guess so, because it said epic and you say that shit all the time.